Ladies and gentlemen, welcome here today to another edition of NASCAR Heat 5 Championship Mode. Another full race live stream for you. It is the Dirt Derby at Eldora Speedway. The final race at Eldora Speedway, for that matter. Really, what could be in NASCAR history. This could be the final game where we could race as the Truck Series at Eldora. So this will be a lot of fun here tonight. We'll enjoy these final 150 laps around this racetrack. Jacob Walton, called 48, Canadian Bacon, R6R6, welcome to the stream. And we're going to have some session qualifying here for you guys tonight. I chose session qualifying for this race because obviously there's no heat races in this game, despite the fact that there are actual heat races that decide the starting lineup for the Dirt Derby every year. So we'll do this. This is kind of our form of heat racing. And the top 24 advance to round 2, top 12 advance to the final round of qualifying, as you're going to see right here. We've done session qualifying in the past. We usually do it for the Cup Series from time to time, and then on every road course for all three series as well. No practice coming into today's race. Daytime for qualifying. The race will be in the nighttime. Very slow around this racetrack. Trying to get one quick lap in here. See if that will get crafted into the top 24, which it should. 19.823. It's going to be fast enough for 10th. So easily going to make it to the top 24. Tanner Gray, top of the charts in round number 1. Quickly now to round 2. Quickly got to get up to 4th gear. This is not a very fast racetrack, that is for sure. Though the laps wind by pretty quickly around this half-mile dirt oval. Yep, gonna set 2 laps in this time. 2 laps in round 2, and then we'll run the entirety of the 5 minutes if we make it to round 3. Lap 1, 19.999. Crafton trying to stick the bottom a little bit better this time. And slower than his lap 1 speed. Crafton has not sat on the pole yet this season. 19.660. That was faster than round 1. Good enough for 7th in round 2. And again, the top 12 will advance, and once again, Tanner Gray, top of the charts in round 2, just like he was in round 1. Davion West, welcome to the stream. So the final 12 will have 5 minutes to showcase if they can get that pole time, who will sit on the pole here today. No pit stops, at least under green flag conditions, obviously, here. Tire's not really going to do much as well. You are allowed to pit under caution if there is damage to your race truck. So no need to have to worry about a tire limit here tonight. 20.046. Man, Crafton about spun out there in turns 1 and 2. Really had to lock it down. Tanner Gray quickly to the top of the charts on the 19.908. We saw Gray top the charts in rounds 1 and 2 with a lot quicker of a time even than that. So John Hunter Nemechek just coming up onto the racetrack. Once we get all 32 trucks out here at the same time, it is going to get chaotic. Now Crafton has won the Dirt Derby in Eldora once in his career. We'll see if he'll be able to try and do it again here today. Tyler Hill, top of the charts now with a 19.669. Full throttle all the way around here right now for Crafton. 19.859, still 3rd quickest right now for Crafton. Oh no! Right into the back of Mike Harmon. Harmon's race truck just swung out in the middle of the traffic now. And that's the problem with having these cars on the track, because there is no actual pit road. Heavy damage to the 88. He's already locked in third for the moment. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to keep going. It was a hard hit. Oh no, and we got more trucks piling in all of a sudden as Harmon's truck is just sitting in the middle of the racetrack. Got T-boned by Angela Ruck. I think that's Tate Fogelman that got a piece of it as well. Crafton's truck is now parked to the inside of the racetrack. Or Mike Harmon's truck, rather. You don't see that every day. Tanner Gray by 0.3 of a second is ahead of Tyler Hill. Gray has brought a pretty quick truck. He was fast at Kentucky earlier today in the first race of our doubleheader. Actually won stage 2. Gray comes into this race 15th in the point standings. Mathematically, he can point his way in, but he's likely going to need a win either today or at Michigan in the next race. Again, these are the final 2 races of the regular season, so we'll have to keep an eye on the bubble battle throughout the course of the night. These times are not going to get any quicker, likely, for Crafton. 1.5 minutes still to go. Crafton's doing everything he can right now to try and better that lap time. That damage to the front of his racetrack is just not helping him out at all. It's hard for him just to run the 19-second lap barrier. Christian Eckes is rubbing on him. Crafton trying to get right back into Eckes there. That low exit to the corners, what you want. Obviously, if you're trying to make a slide job maneuver, you want to drift all the way up to the outside. The outside is the preferred line for the truck series here. We've seen that over the last couple of years especially. But Crafton, in the first couple rounds of qualifying, was able to stick the bottom really well. We'll have to see how that'll work out for him in the race. So, one more lap at the line likely. Might be able to get 2 laps in. 20.737. He is more than a second off that time. Angela Ruck is up to 3rd place. Tyler Hill, another one of those drivers that need a win to qualify for the playoffs. Of the top 3, all of them are outside that playoff cut line in qualifying, so we'll see what kind of speed they're going to have for today's race. Could get interesting. 3 stages of racing, 150 laps around this half-mile dirt oval. Crafton presumably looks like he's qualified in 4th. 19.859 was his lap time. Tanner Gray, top of the charts by about 0.2 of a second over Tyler Hill, who was qualified in 2nd. So here we go. The race is about to begin, awaited by, I'm sure, many of the people down in the chat below. Jason White, Jennifer Jo Cobb dropped to the rear for the start of this race. Tanner Gray, again, looks really fast. Swept all 3 rounds in session qualifying. We're going to see who has what it takes to win in the final race at Eldora for the Gander Outdoor Truck Series. The green flag is in the air, and we are underway. 40 laps in stage number 1. Kind of like a mini heat race of itself. Look at the top 2 making contact immediately. Trying to battle for that track position up there. Tanner Gray, Tyler Hill got together. Crafton quickly jumps to the inside of Angela Ruck. All the way on the bottom now of Tyler Hill for 2nd place. So Crafton trying to work the inside. Most of the other trucks trying to work the outside of this racetrack. That's going to give them a run on corner exit. You see Tanner Gray working it really well there. Clean air really doesn't do much when it comes to dirt racing. Still going to be a track position game as racing in general is. Gray really pitching that truck up. Rear end of the race truck really starting to come around. Crafton trying to slide in front of him, but he can't quite clear him off the exit of the corners. Zane Smith has moved up to third place. Smith comes into this race ninth in the point standings. One of those drivers that doesn't want to see an upset winner. Little door slam there between the 21 and the 88. And look at Smith now trying to go into that middle lane. Not on the bottom where Crafton is, but not on the top where Tanner Gray is either. Little wiggle by both the 15 and the 21 there. Lead change at the line. Zane Smith is out in front here at Eldora. Tanner Gray trying to cross him over. Crafton still trying to work the inside lane as they battle for the lead. It's a 3-horse race. Tyler Hill's back and forth. Mike Harmon is up to 5th place. Harmon going to be one of those drivers, unfortunately, though, is not going to point his way into the top 20. So a win for himself would not get him into the playoffs. Be tough to say. It depends how many drivers would be on the lead lap. Again, you want to have as much track position as you can. So you're going to see these guys likely space apart maybe when we get into the lap traffic. Or the racing is just going to get even better. We'll see. Lap traffic coming up very soon. Jesse Little's jumped up to 4th back there with Tyler Hill. It's a 3-truck race for the lead right now. And then you've got a lot of trucks a little further back, all battling for 4th, about 5 of them. Zane Smith and Tanner Gray have just gone back and forth right now. And now into the lap traffic as Josh Reum is the first lap truck. Jason White gets in the way of Tanner Gray there, allowing Zane Smith to get back out ahead once again. That'll jump Crafton into 2nd place. Crafton still not yet led a lap. Down to the bottom now. Smith tries to move Rafael Lassard out of the way. And into turns 3 and 4, Matt Crafton. Can he get to the lead this time? Not quite. Smith's still going to lead the lap. This guy's racing clean here. Early going to the race. About as clean as dirt racing's going to be. Trucks are going to be dirty by the end of it. Hopefully the fenders aren't going to be caved in. Zane Smith looks really fast, and now Tanner Gray gets to the inside of Matt Crafton. Crafton trying to stick the outside up on the cushion. Gets the run down the back as they try to split Natalie Decker. So Crafton moves up a lane now, coming off the bottom of the track. And Gray with a slide job to move up to 2nd. And now Crafton back to the inside again. Johnny Sauter struggling here. Remember, Matt Crafton, to clinch the regular season championship, one race early tonight, needs to score 42 points at least to clinch. That is if Johnny Sauter goes on to win this race. You saw Sauter already fall a lap down in 24th. He's not off to a good start today. That could release some of the pressure for Crafton in trying to clinch the title tonight. Tanner Gray starting to lose a little bit now. Gray just about got the side of Clay Greenfield. Big slide on the bottom there. Crafton trying to hold the 21 tight. Trying to trap the 21 behind his teammate Tyler Ankerman, the 26 for GMS, but he couldn't do it there. Smith with a win would release the pressure into Michigan. He would no longer be on the playoff bubble. These guys get by Gus Dean, there's going to be a little bit of open room to race for themselves. Crafton seems to be really good on corner exit. He's not getting those rear tires to bite up as quickly as he wants to on the corner exit. That and running the outside of the racetrack obviously is helping get the run off the exit of the corner with this progressive banking. And Crafton slides into the lead. a slide job of his own. He still hasn't, I should say, he's only led 2 laps today. And look at how far he was able to take off from Zane Smith after pulling up in front of him. Kind of took his momentum away. Now Crafton goes right back to the bottom again. He's got about a 1-second lead. We'll see if Smith can maybe run him back down once more lap traffic will be consumed by the leader. Fastest lap of the race there, 19.545 for Crafton that last lap. Again, a 1-second lead back into the lap traffic again. We'll see if Zane Smith might be able to close. Crafton still looking for playoff points, even if it is an easy race as far as trying to clinch the regular season championship. Still one of the more prestigious Truck Series races on the schedule, plus knowing that it's the last race here, and it's in my home state nonetheless for myself. Definitely going to try to go for the win. Eldora located in Rossburg, Ohio. Angelo Ruck, who qualified 3rd, is back to 14th. Outside the top 10. Steadily still a 1-second lead here. Smith trying to get through the traffic. He hasn't lost time, but he hasn't gained time either through the lap traffic once again. Still 19 laps to go in stage 1. Tim Irvin, welcome to the stream. There's Brett Moffitt. He comes in, first driver out of the playoffs on points. He is 7 points behind Ben Rhodes. Rhodes currently running ahead of him. Crafton got a little loose there off of turn number 4. Moffitt's fighting hard. He wants to get back on the lead lap. And here's Zane Smith. He's caught right back up to Matt Crafton again. Trying to run that outside line. Crafton moved up to the middle. Now he's got more lap trucks in front of him. Just 15 to go in stage 1. And Smith got to the back bumper, but then he lost him again. Sheldon Creed is up to 3rd. He has ran down Tanner Gray back there. Creed is also a winner in this race. In fact, Sheldon Creed also finished runner-up last season in the Dirt Derby at Eldora. 2019 behind race winner Stuart Friesen. Friesen just won a lap down there. Ethan, welcome to the stream. Yep, 150 lapper. Smith again trying to run down Crafton. Cat and mouse game through the lap traffic. Tyler Hill qualified 2nd. Battled Tanner Gray pretty hard in the opening laps. Fell behind. He's in 11th right now and is about to go a lap down as he slides way up the track. And Crafton again with a 1-second lead. So that lead's been fluctuating back and forth quite rapidly between Matt Crafton and Zane Smith. Tanner Gray just not getting through the lap traffic that well. Look out for Sheldon Creed. Again, he's a pretty good dirt racer as well. Grew up in off-road Super Truck Series. Sure, this style of racing could definitely suit his background. Hunter Nemechek now going to go a lap down. So a lot of drivers going a lap down early. Jesse Little still holding out in 5th. Crafton, and he gets ran into the side of by Ty Majeski, who barrel rolled it into turns 1 and 2, and that's going to give Zane Smith the lead. Majeski moved up to 9th with that move and got back on the lead lap just for Zane Smith to put him a lap down again. Aggressive move by Majeski. 9 laps to go on the stage, and Crafton's got to run Zane Smith down again. You can see how loose Zane Smith and his race truck is. The rear of the race truck is just sliding out a lot more than Matt Crafton's. But he's getting into bite coming off the corner exit. It's working out for him. Loose is fast if he can hang on to it. Another wiggle there by Zane Smith as he tries to get the power down. But Crafton's all over his back bumper. Good race here in stage 1. Sheldon Creed's not really closing in on the lead. It's a 2-horse race right now if we stay green. And Smith got caught up behind Jennifer Jo Cobb and Austin Hill. That'll give Crafton the lead again at the line. 6 to go in stage 1. So Crafton back out in front. Race isn't over yet. Neither is the lap traffic. Ooh, Decker made Crafton had to lift a little bit off of turn 2. Crafton just caught the lap truck of Natalie Decker in a bad spot. Crafton got really loose on the bottom through 3 and 4 as well. Smith trying to recover on the outside. Now he's got to get around Decker. Oh, and Crafton about spun out there in turns 1 and 2. And Smith got caught behind Decker off of turn 2, so he couldn't really gain any ground out of it. Really the first time I've seen Crafton almost completely lose control of his race truck and spin right around. We haven't had a caution up to this point yet. Again, 40 laps in this opening stage. Heavy lap traffic now in front of Crafton, 2 laps to go. Just trying to stay low and go. We'll see if Smith's got anything for him here in the last lap and a half. Billy Kramer, welcome to the stream. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go, 1.5 second lead for Matt Crafton. Great back and forth battle in stage 1 between Zane Smith and Crafton. Tanner Gray led a handful of laps as well. But it'll be Matt Crafton winning stage 1, becoming even closer now to winning the regular season championship tonight. Crafton will get that first green-white checker flag. Zane Smith brings it home in second, followed by Sheldon Creed, Tanner Gray, Jesse Little. Your top 5, then Riley Herbst, Mike Harmon, Todd Gillen, Tyler Hill, and John Hunter Nemechek rounds out the top 10. Tyler Hill will get the free pass tonight, get back on the lead lap here. And again, no pit stops likely tonight. Race truck gets banged up a little bit over the course of the race, and we get some late race cautions. You might consider some pit stops happening, but that would really be the only chance we'd likely see anything like that happening. Classic case of turning right to go left. Yep, that is dirt track racing at its finest. It's the only fast way to get around these kinds of racetracks. Green flag back in the air. Stage 2 underway. Crafton will restart the lead on the bottom, 50 laps in stage 2. 46 of them under green. 4 caution laps there. Good jump by Matt Crafton on the bottom of the track. And the preferred lane on the restart. He qualified 4th. You saw it took him a couple laps to get to the bottom initially off the start earlier. Sheldon Creed going for second place underneath Zane Smith. Now he's got the track position with the restart. Kind of shuffle Zane Smith out of line, and Sheldon Creed will jump up to second place, and we'll see if he can maybe run down Matt Crafton. Crafton got one heck of a jump on that restart. He hasn't been further than a second and a half ahead of second place tonight until now. He's got about a 2-second lead, but that'll likely change when we get to the lap traffic. Tanner Gray back up to third. Zane Smith has gotten shuffled out of line. He is back to fifth place. And now, Mike Harmon's trying to battle him for fifth right now. And Zane Smith's at risk of falling out of the top 5. We know he's got a fast truck, but I think restarting on that outside lane in second place really hurt him. So he can never quite get down to the bottom to at least hold himself in line. And again, this has allowed Matt Crafton to pull ahead right now as he has reached the back of the lap traffic. Sheldon Creed looked really fast on the longer run, so we'll see if Creed can try to run down Crafton over the long run this time. Not sure where he started this race, but the fact that he was able to get up to third at the end of the stage and only about 5 seconds off the lead is pretty telling. Had to have been at least 7 seconds back at one point in time. So that's how far they were ahead of Gray when Gray was in third at one point. Now Tanner Gray has jumped up to second after sweeping the pole award, winning all 3 rounds of session qualifying. And again, Gray needs a win, likely to make it into the playoffs. So good start to a good night up to this point. Yeah, you can only pit under caution. There's no green flag pit stops in dirt racing. And the only reason there were pit stops under caution is because of how long the actual length of the race is. They would have to fuel the trucks up at least, so then you would see some sort of tire strategies. But the tires don't really mean much. You'll see that in some long 100-lap late model races that they have around the U.S. as well. There will be fuel, like a competition yellow kind of, I guess would be the right term for it. Usually about halfway through the race so the teams can go out on the track, or cars will roll into the pits, they'll fuel it up and literally go back out on the racetrack, but you hold your position. Supposed to. In this game, you would just lose spots if you pit, but you're supposed to have held your position if you... Typical dirt racing. I'm pretty sure that's what they've done in the truck series, I'd have to imagine. There's no race off pit road. Pretty sure you held your spot even in the dirt derby. Well, you don't have to worry about overheating though, because although, again, this game doesn't really do it too much justice, but they're getting out of the gas quite a bit. You can hold it full throttle just because of how slow the truck is in this game, and I think it's just because of compared to other tracks, but you got to work the throttle enough. You're not just standing on the gas here. If you stand on the gas while you're dirt racing, it's just going to constantly spin the tires. You're never going to get grip in the rear tires. Tanner Gray is running down Crafton for the lead. He was 3 seconds back. He's now less than a second and a half off the lead. So Tanner Gray not letting Matt Crafton just walk all over the field here in stage 2. Trying to put up a fight like Zane Smith did back in stage 1. This race probably means a lot more to Tanner Gray than Crafton, who has 11 wins on the season. Crafton by far, obviously, in the playoffs. And again, a shot to clinch the regular season title tonight. Needs 32 more points over the course of the night to clinch the regular season championship. Going 3 wide here, nearly 4 wide. Very wide dirt track though, so you can really see them fan out, especially on the restarts here. Oh, a little contact. Crafton slid right up into the 38 truck. And that allows Tanner Gray to close in a little bit more. It just depends on the length of the track. All dirt tracks are different lengths, kind of like NASCAR. I mean, typically, it's like you'll have your 3/4 mile tracks, which are kind of rare. There's not too many. Like if you look at the World of Outlaw schedule, most of them are half mile. But there are a lot of 3/8 mile tracks and 1/3 mile tracks. High, low banked obviously makes a difference with how much you are on the gas and the speeds you're running. But typically though, like in a World of Outlaw show, there isn't mandatory fuel runs because the features are short enough. They're only like 40, 50 laps, 30 to 50 laps, depending on the length of the racetrack. And here comes Tanner Gray for the lead. He was looking to the outside. Crafton slides way up the racetrack off of turn 4. Got to protect the bottom. Here comes Gray again. Crafton right back down to that bottom lane, but here comes Gray now to the outside, trying to get a run there. Crafton trying to block him off right now on corner exit. Doesn't want Gray to get inside of him. Also doesn't want him to get the run off the top and get to the outside of him as well. 24 to go, stage 2. See, the stages lengthen or kind of divide the race up evenly. So like for the Bristol Dirt Race next year, even for the Cup Series, you're going to just see them likely pit for fuel under caution. Or any adjustments that they need. They'll probably have like a 10-minute break or so. If they decide to make adjustments for the race, I would imagine they probably would, especially with it being the first year Cup Series racing on dirt in decades. Big Mac the GOAT, welcome to the stream. Crafton not pulling away from Gray, but he has opened the gap up by a few truck lengths now. Smooth stage up to this point, though, for Crafton. Oh, Crafton about went around off of turn 2. Here comes Gray with a full head of steam on the outside. Little mishap by Matt Crafton. And now Gray slides way up the racetrack trying to get the rear tires to bite. They run into each other off of turn 4. Contact. 20 to go. Stage 2. Gray got right into the back of Crafton, and that might loosen this 88 truck up a little more. Slight bit of damage. Crafton again slides up in front of Gray, trying to hold on to the race lead. He still has not officially lost the lead. They both go to the outside of Raphael Lassard there. Something else you got to think too, though, a stock car has way more fuel mileage than an open wheel dirt car, even a late model. Or just a bigger fuel tank, I should say. So they wouldn't have to pit for fuel as often as you would see in a normal late model race. Or a modified race. That nature. And they'd be getting a little bit better fuel mileage too. Like I said, they'd really only have to pit at the stage breaks. They're not going to make the race 500 laps on dirt at Bristol. That's just not going to happen. I don't see the race being any more than 300 laps. And just 300 lap stages, honestly. If they were to go that long even. Great run through turns 3 and 4 that time. 1 second lead again for Crafton. Just not as good on corner exit. His time gain is on corner entry. There's Mike Harmon in 7th. He's about to go a lap down. So even more trucks are going a lap down in this stage compared to the last stage. And there's Zane Smith. Zane Smith is battling Mike Harmon for 6th, in fact, right now. They're both in danger of going a lap down. We know Smith's got a fast truck when he has the track position, so that could be huge if he goes a lap down. On the playoff bubble, just luckily for him, outside of Tanner Gray, nobody else around him is running real well. More contact, Mike Harmon, Matt Crafton. Riley Herbst in 5th is about to go a lap down. Crafton working hard to try and put that 5th place truck a lap down. Riley Hurst is that driver. Crafton tried not to make contact. He had to lift off of turn 4, and now here comes Gray again. 3 wide, and I don't even know how Hurst kept it off. Both the 38 and the 88 kept it off of him. Even though it's been caution-free up to this point, we have seen nothing but good racing here tonight. 10 to go, stage 2. Battle for the stage win again. This time it's between Crafton and Gray. The two that battled it out through the first couple handful of laps at the very, very beginning of the race. Sheldon Creed 9 seconds back, but he's hanging on to 3rd once again. Herbst is trying to hang on to that free pass position in 5th. Tanner Gray not giving up on trying to catch Crafton right now. We're going to alternate through the different camera angles for the first time tonight at the start-finish line this time. For the next half a dozen laps. Contact there, Tyler Hill on corner exit off of turn 2. Crafton's got about a 2-second lead on Gray. That's as big of a lead as he's had since Gray started running him down in the early going of the stage. 5 laps to go now, stage 2. Johnny Sauter back to 26th now, making the job even easier for Crafton to clinch that regular season championship tonight, even if he doesn't score 42 points. But again, 42 points we know for a fact will lock up the regular season title for Crafton. And he's looking to grab 20 in the first 2/3 of the race with getting 2 stage wins. He could seal the deal. Gray started to run him down there. Those last 2 laps, Gray was just a little bit quicker than Crafton. Two laps to go this time by. Will he have enough time to try and get another run at Matt Crafton? Crafton got caught behind Gus Dean going into turn 3. 1 lap to go this time by. The white flag will be in the air. Go back to the normal cam for the final lap of the stage now. 1.5 second lead. That's as big of a lead as Crafton had at the end of stage 1 over Zane Smith. Smith will finish this stage a lap down and is going to need a caution to likely get back into it. Riley Hurst should get the free pass in 5th. Jesse Little will barely stay on the lead lap in 4th. 2-second advantage at the line. Matt Crafton wins stage 2 at Eldora. So Crafton will sweep the stages tonight. 2 more playoff points, 2 more stage wins. En route now, just 22 points away from clinching the regular season championship, a race early in this race. Free pass, though, again to Riley Hurst. Even Tyler Hill at 8th is 2 laps down now, so Hill lost a couple laps there that last stage. Oh, not going to pit. Force a habit there of clicking to pit at the end of the stage. Oh, no need to pit here. Tires aren't going to really do anything. Crafton going to keep that track position. A 60-lap final stage still to come. We are caution-free tonight. We have not gone a single race in the Truck Xfinity or Cup Series caution-free on NASCAR Heat 5. Could this be the first? We'll see. No, Jesse Little is not a generated driver. No, Jesse Little is the son of Chad Little. Green flag back in the air. 56 laps to decide the winner if this is the final restart of the race. Tanner Gray quickly to the bottom. Gets in front of Sheldon Creed. Look at Jesse Little leading on Creed for third. But it's likely going to be a two-horse race between Matt Crafton and Tanner Gray, if I had to imagine, in this final stage. Not sure if we're going to get a caution or not as well. That could possibly stack things up. You saw Crafton take off on the restart last time, but once he hit the lap traffic, that's when Gray was starting him down. Plus, when Zane Smith started in second, restarted in second, he kind of faded back on the restart, and Sheldon Creed was able to kind of get up there and kind of waste a little bit of time, perhaps, for Gray to catch back up to Crafton. But still plenty of time left in this race for Tanner Gray to run down Crafton, and we know he's got the capability of getting it done. Final time, we're going to alternate through the different camera angles in this race now. About as big of a lead as he saw in the last restart for Matt Crafton, about 3 seconds ahead. Gray knows he might have had a win taken away from him in the last race, blowing a right front tire while running in second place at Kentucky after winning stage 2. And scoring a pretty bad finish to hold him 15th in the point standings, a race in which he could have gained so much time on that cutoff line, or so many points on that cutoff line. It's not the case. He's nearly 50 points back now. Could point his way in, but a few drivers obviously in between him and 10th place in points. We'll see what a win could do if he could get that win tonight. Just 49 to go, though, and he is now 4 seconds off the lead, but don't count him out. You'd have to imagine he's going to close back in at some point in time here. Saw some good battles in stage 1, good battles in stage 2 throughout. Matt Crafton trying to do everything he can right now. Plus, obviously, we never know if we'll get a caution at all today as well. Kind of capped out. Gray was 6 seconds off the lead. Now he's starting to cut back into it again. He's about 5.5 seconds back. And wow, Crafton just really pushed up the track through turns 3 and 4. Gray couldn't really capitalize that much interval-wise, it looked like. Do I look at my stats? It's a lot easier to, as far as like on the game itself, no, but as far as like as the season goes on, I try to, so that way I can memorize it throughout the course of a race, so that way I actually know what I'm talking about. It's a lot easier to keep track of that with the Cup and the Xfinity Series because I'm keeping track of points myself. The Truck Series, I haven't had to do that because I have a DNF all season, so I don't really know all the top 5s and top 10s for the Truck Series. But as far as like streaks and stuff go, I can keep track of that pretty easily. Top 5, top 10 streak, etc. Stuff like that. Not just for me, but for any driver, really. 8.5 second lead now, by far the largest lead of the race. We haven't seen that lead up over 3 seconds all night for Crafton. This is new territory here. Gray is struggling in the lap traffic. kind of what you saw from Gray in Stage 1. Remember, it was Zane Smith and Matt Crafton who battled for the stage win in Stage 1 throughout. Gray fell back and finished 4th at the end of the stage. Kind of worked his way back up on the restart in Stage 2 and eventually ended up trying to battle for the lead again. So don't count him out. One simple mistake as well by Crafton. We've seen him get loose a couple times. Yeah, career mode does it for you. I wish championship mode did it. Yeah, for sure. Maybe they'll add that on NASCAR 21. On NASCAR Thunder 2004, it keeps track of the stats for you. Even on the season mode, season and the career mode. 9.5 second lead. That lead just keeps getting bigger and bigger for Crafton. 39 laps to go now. Truck is nearly spotless. The only time he had somewhat significant contact was when Tanner Gray ran into the back of him towards the end of Stage 1 when Crafton tried to slide up in front of him knowing that Gray was going to get the run off the exit of a corner. Best seat at an oval racetrack. I always, whenever I go to a race, and it doesn't matter whether it's been a road course race or an oval, I try to sit up as high as I can. I try to sit right on the start-finish line. That's just always kind of been my sweet spot. Those are the most expensive tickets, but now I don't try to sit like necessarily all the way up. If I'm within my price range, or if I feel like I'm getting a good deal at a specific track, I'll sit halfway up. But enough to where I could see the whole track. So I don't have to sit all the way up at a mile and a half. If you're within 20 rows, if you're 20 rows or more up from the fence line on a mile and a half, you can see the whole track. That way you don't have to pay too much money out of pocket. Jesse Little's gone a lap down in this stage. Riley Herbston 4th is not too much further ahead of Crafton. And he's about to go a lap down here in the final stage of the race also. Someone who hasn't had a good day is Ben Rhodes. Rhodes is in 18th, has scored 0 stage points all day. Tanner Gray, 13 seconds off the lead. He is not charging into that lead. But will we stay green? Will Crafton make a mistake? So far, he hasn't really made one. He's gotten loose a couple times, but that's just natural for any given driver on any given day. That's how you overcome those little sketchy moments. And for Crafton, he's been nearly perfect all day long. Sheldon Treat a little contact with the last place truck reunion. That's another thing. We've had no cautions, but all 32 race trucks are still on the track. Like, there has not been an incident at all. There's obviously been contact here and there, and that's a given around this place with these big, heavy race trucks, but it's insane. "14-second lead. Sheldon Creed has now gone a lap down. This is something we, again, have not seen all night until this final stage. I am very shocked Crafton was able to pull out this much as he wants this win. The final race at Eldora, and he wants to win here badly. And for myself, at my home track, in my home state, the final race here, I know I want to win badly. Tanner Gray's still in the lead lap. That's really his only saving grace right now, because if he goes a lap down, he'd have to restart at the rear of the field. Gray wants a caution, and he wants it pretty much as soon as possible. Only 26 laps to go. We know Crafton's been taking off on these restarts, so it's a matter of when he catches lap traffic before we even saw Gray or Smith really try to run him back down. Though really in stage 1, Crafton never got away. It took him about half the stage to really actually get to the lead for the first time. He was battling hard with Tanner Gray and Zane Smith. He couldn't get around him. Once he got around him, he was going back and forth with all three, and then it just turned out to be a two-truck race there. Final 10 laps or so between Smith and Crafton. Zane Smith, meanwhile, is back in the top 5. He's in the 5th position. We are using the controller tonight, by the way. We used the steering wheel in the Kentucky race earlier today for the Truck Series. Tomorrow will be the next full race live stream on the channel, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Xfinity Series at Kentucky. Perhaps another doubleheader, as the Xfinity race at New Hampshire could very well be after that. Not 100% sure, but I'm like 80% sure. You'll just have to kind of keep an eye out, I guess, on the channel. I'll have it scheduled if that is the case for scheduled start times. I did that last week for the entire week, and I did it for this week the entire week. I kind of had to shift some times and dates around because of DNFing in both races yesterday, and me running the All-Star race. I had to switch around that as well, obviously. It should be about all up to date now. 20 to go. There's Tanner Gray in the 15. He's going to try to fight hard right now to stay on the lead lap. Came a lot closer, I think, than what we all saw at Kentucky. If it wasn't for him blowing that right front, I'm sure he would have had a top 5 performance. Crafton trying to get around him right now. He's racing him clean. We'll see if Gray might be able to race him clean right back. Crafton can't quite pull up and clear him yet. Gray's running him hard right now. They're still side by side. Crafton drove it off deep that time. Full throttle. Never burped it. Tanner Gray not going to be able to cross him over. So Crafton has lapped the field all of a sudden at Eldora. Unbelievable. Not really like the lap times have picked up. His fastest lap of the race was still a lap from stage 2. Which was a 19.545. That was a 19.6 that last lap, so that was less than a tenth of a second off. I don't think you're going to see the fastest time in lap traffic this late in the race nonetheless. We have our first caution-free race of the season, though, as far as incidents go. Oh, we got a truck parked on the inside of the racetrack. It looked like Mike Harmon in the 74 crashed off of turn 4. He hit the wall hard. There's smoke rolling out of the race truck, but we stay green. And it is Harmon. Tough break. He was running nearly in the top 5. He was in the top 10 almost all night. After starting towards the rear. It was a good fight by Harmon, but things have just gone horribly wrong for him in the final 20 laps of the race. That's the first incident we've seen so far, but again, we stay green. He's out of the way. That's honestly the perfect spot to be placed if you're to be sitting, so that's likely why we're still green right now, and the caution hasn't waved is because he's completely out of the way. It'd be a lot different if he was in the middle of a corner on the inside of the track. You can run 3 and 4 wide, and you're not going to be anywhere close to hitting him. Dominant final stage of the race, but not the most dominant complete race Crafton's had this season. But one of the probably best final stages I think he's had all year. I think we can almost all agree on that. Tanner Gray still hoping for some sort of luck to go his way. The good news is, again, Ben Rhodes was on the cutoff line. And he didn't score a single stage point. It looks like he's going to finish outside of the top 5. Zane Smith was 7 points behind Ben Rhodes. Or sorry, not Zane Smith, but Brett Moffitt was 7 points behind Ben Rhodes. And Moffitt has been doing a little bit better, but he also didn't score stage points. You look at guys like Riley Herbst, who are 13th in points coming in, 15th in points coming in for Tanner Gray, but they're quite a few points back. How close are they going to be to the cutoff line? Both of those two have had stage points in both stages. Especially for Tanner Gray, he has been in the top 4 basically all night. 4th in stage 1, 2nd in stage 2. It looks like he's going to finish 2nd in the race. This could be huge. Crafton is less than 10 laps away from not only winning his 2nd career Dirt Derby at Eldora, but he's looking also to clinch the regular season championship with this win here tonight and a sweep of the first 2 stages. And he could simply just go for playoff points at Michigan. He doesn't have to worry about stage points if he's not in position to get any playoff points in a stage. Maybe he'll try some pit strategy. 2-mile racetrack, good opportunity for something like that to perhaps happen. So we'll have to see what will happen there. That race will be sometime next week. So we get the Cup and Xfinity Series caught up a little bit with the trucks. Again, Xfinity Series at Kentucky and New Hampshire tomorrow. Pretty heavy lap traffic here just in front of the leaders. 5 laps to go this time by for Matt Crafton. A little contact there with Tyler Ankrum off of turn 4. Still trying to go clean. Been caution free up to this point. She's just made this race pace even quicker. Shortest race of the season was Pocono. It was 48 minutes in total length. This one's going to be really close to that. It's definitely going to be under an hour, especially with it going caution free. That Pocono race had, I believe, 4 cautions if I'm not mistaken. It kind of slowed the race pace down. Otherwise, it would have been probably even quicker than what it actually ended up being. Still trying to get to the white flag. 2 to go. Riley Herbst in 3rd. He's about to go 2 laps down. Unless he can hang on. I don't think he's going to really have a shot to run down Tanner Gray, but for Herbst, he's jumped up to 3rd. Good run for him late. Creed back to 5th. Zane Smith is up to 4th again. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go for Matt Crafton. Down the back straightaway, he's about a quarter of a mile away. Crafton is going to win his 2nd career Dirt Derby, and it is going to be a win in the final race at Eldora. Crafton wins the final Dirt Derby at Eldora Speedway and clinches the regular season championship along with it in a caution-free race, the first caution-free race of the series, and for all 3 series, might I add. Obviously, the Truck Series races are the shortest of the 3, but still, caution-free. Can't take that away from these guys tonight. Good, hard, aggressive at times. We did see some contact, some hard racing, especially on those few restarts we had because of the stage breaks, but in the end, Crafton, with a dominating final stage, pulled away at the end to get the W. 50 minutes total time on the race today. We were very close to breaking the record for the shortest race of the season, just 2 minutes off from our Pocono race a couple races ago for the Truck Series, but 50 minutes total time here today, caution free. As far as incidents went, that's not counting the 2 stage breaks. Yeah, in this game you can only burn out the engine. Can't burn out the tires. I know on NASCAR Thunder 04 you can run out of fuel, you can burn the engine, you can blow a tire, you can do whatever in that game. Completely just total your race car. Tanner Gray brings it home in second. Riley Herbst third. Zane Smith fourth. Some bubble drivers right there, all 3 of them. Sheldon Creed brings it home with the top 5 and 5th. Good run for Jesse Little. Tyler Hill 6th and 7th. Stuart Friesen, last year's winner of the Dirt Derby, finishes 8th. John Hunter Nemechek 9th. And Todd Gilliland rounds out the top 10. Only the one lone driver that finished on the lead lap and just 1 DNF, and that was for Mike Harmon late in the race with less than 20 to go. While running in the top 10 nonetheless, he crashed off at turn 4, but we stayed green as he was out of the way, parked on the inside of the track. 12th win of the year for Crafton. As mentioned, he has clinched the regular season title. Stuart Friesen actually jumps up to 2nd place on Johnny Sauter in the standings, with Sauter having a terrible day and Friesen at least sneaking in there at the top 10 late. There you see the running order. Zane Smith has put some ground in between him and the playoff bubble with a great day today. Ran top 5 most of the day, scored stage points in both stages. And there you see, just 3 points separates the playoff bubble right now. Ben Rhodes, last driver in by 3 points over Brett Moffitt. And you even look at Austin Hill as well. Hill is only 5 points to the good in 9th. Christian Eckes still mathematically can point his way in. He's 27 points below the cutoff line, so don't count him out going into Michigan as well. Riley Herbst only 30 points back. He's mathematically got a shot to get himself in on points still. Tanner Gray had a good day today. Mathematically, he also has a shot to point his way in as he goes into that race. 41 points below the cutoff line. And Jordan Anderson, although there's a lot of drivers still in front of him, he also has a shot to mathematically point his way in. He is 53 points back. That is insane to think about it. Nobody, and I mean nobody right now, is in a smooth running. But Zane Smith has locked himself into the playoffs tonight on points. Todd Gilliland has locked himself in on points. And Grant Enfinger. Ross Chastain's in with the win. Sauter's in with the win. Sheldon Creed, Stuart Friesen have been locked in on points. Despite the fact that I kind of mentioned that or I should say despite the fact I forgot to mention that the races leading up to it. So just 2 spots still open right now, pretty much from 9th on the leaderboard through 15th. And if anybody in the top 20 in points gets a win at Michigan, they will lock themselves in. On that win, that would bump Rhodes or Hill below the cutoff line, whoever's the lesser of the 2 scorers there. So that is a pretty hectic playoff bubble battle going into Michigan. I will definitely be writing all that down before the start of that race next week, and we'll be talking about that throughout the course of that one. The next race is not long either, only 100 laps at Michigan. 131 of the 150 laps led tonight for Matt Crafton. Dominating win, nonetheless. I honestly did not even think he led that many laps. It took him quite a few laps just to get to the lead. But once he got there, he never really looked back, despite the fact we had a great battle all the way through Stage 1 and all the way through Stage 2. It's just those final 60 laps in the final stage just kind of got out of hand, and Crafton pulled away. It going caution-free obviously helped. Subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. We do these full race live streams with a realistic broadcast on the daily. Hit the like button down below if you enjoyed the race, the commentary, the video in general. I start my young broadcasting career with this channel, so that is why we do these on the daily and with a realistic broadcast for these full race live streams. So support me there by simply just subscribing. And again, by hitting the like button, that helps with the algorithm and trying to get this video in particular and other videos that you guys are to like in recommended sections of other people's YouTube accounts, as well as underneath other NASCAR related videos. So again, that helps me out too. Thanks everybody. I'll see you tomorrow again, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Kentucky Xfinity Series. I will be there and back and better than ever. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and I'll catch you tomorrow.